In 3, 2, 1, let's go! Hey everybody, it's Moonbow here, and welcome back to, you guessed it, even more Scrap Mechanic. Now, before I get into this build, I just want to mention a couple things. The first thing being, I'm going to do something that I haven't done in a very long time. The last time I did this was with the Shuttle Atlantis, so I want to mention, like, seeing my creations on all sorts of big YouTube channels is always fun, and it's pretty exciting. But, you know, you never get the credit. So like I did with the Shuttle Atlantis, I wanted to wait to release the workshop download, so I'm going to do that with this AC-130. I've spent the better part of the last week working on this insane build, and I'm really excited to get it to you guys, but all I ask is before I put this on the Steam Workshop, I want you to show me your support, show me your love, hit the like button, and if I see that there is actually enough support and the people want to see this build on the Steam Workshop, then of course I will oblige and we will see it up there in no time. And one more thing I want to talk about before we get into this build is the face cam, of course. As you can see, I've got it going right now, and I've kind of found a bit of a solution to the problem that I've been having with recording my face cam. So rather than have the ability to move it around, it's going to end up being a stationary icon in the videos. But nonetheless, I'm going to put it in more of my videos and do the workaround like that, and I hope you guys enjoy that too. So without further ado, let's get right into this amazing build, the AC-130. Highly demanded, so many requests. I'm finally getting it done for you guys. I've put in so much effort. I hope you enjoy it. So let's get on into the game, shall we? Alright, so this is pretty much what the face cam is going to look like from now on. I'm going to put a little border around me, as you can see, and hopefully it's not in the way of the video itself. But I think I'm pretty happy with this kind of a solution, so I hope you guys are too. But no more delaying, let's check out this AC-130. So, as you can see, this thing is huge. I literally spent like a week making this. Now, I have to mention painting it was the worst part. I spent the last 2.5 days, well, not the whole days obviously here. I'm talking like the evenings when I have my free time to work on Scrap Mechanic. I spent a couple days working on this with the painting alone, and I kept crashing my game every 15 minutes, so whenever this does get put on the Steam Workshop, I have to warn you, don't try and paint it. If you try and paint it, you're probably going to crash the game. Unless, of course, that engine changes everything. But I'm going to quickly hop out of here so we can have a little walk around and get a better view. Alright, here we are outside of the entire plane. So I'm going to walk up to it, and as you can see, it gives you an idea of just the perspective and the size of this entire build. As you can see, I'm getting a little bit of an FPS drop here, but that doesn't normally happen if I'm not recording, so I can assure you that this airplane is surprisingly lag-free when it comes to the FPS. But, I mean, overall, I really put as much effort into the shape, the size. I learned as much as I could from my past large airplanes, such as the Boeing 747, as well as the kind of shark jetception that I made with Con Gaming. But here we have just a massive build. I am going to actually throw this on the lift, because I'm very curious. I haven't even checked to see how many wedge pieces are on this build yet. But as you can see over on this side, I add a little bit of detail. So up there on the tail is the American flag, of course. This is a US airplane. And here, using the pipe text, I made like a United States Air Force kind of little logo on the side here, which just adds a little bit of detail. I couldn't add much because of just the sheer amount of wedge pieces. But I'm curious, so let's go and put this on the lift and check to see how many wedge pieces there are. Alright, here's the moment of truth. Let's have a look. Alright, parts. Alright, let's go through here. Oh my, so 17,800, so basically 18,000 wooden blocks alone. Not much of the other. 120 thrusters, which is not bad. I think it's a pretty optimized build for weight. But the main here, yeah, the main thing here, the staircase wedge, 3,925. Oh, I had to paint those. I didn't put a lot of forethought into building this when it came to the color, so I ended up hand painting each one of those. So about 4,000 clicks on wedges alone. Hurrah! But I'm gonna go inside here now so we can have a better look on the inside of this humongous plane. If I can only hit that button, there we go. Alright, so as you can see, this actually just comes down like a ramp that you can go in. if you look up overhead here, you can shut it as well, but it's also connected to the front seat there. But we'll just shut it manually like this. There we go. Alright, so going up to this main level here, that's the cockpit right there. It's generally like a simple design, but I added like a nice little staircase, and I am in no way claiming that the inside, or even the entire airplane for that matter, is the AC-130. It was the inspiration, it was my reference picture. I can't ever guarantee things like that in Scrap Mechanic, but I can try my best. So honestly though, with that said, the cockpit is really nice. You have a great view. I added these windows here, tilted 45 degrees I believe, so just a subtle roundness of those windows makes all the difference. But as you can see, it's a nice raised up little platform that you can see out of. This here is just an emergency exit. I think most of my airplanes have emergency exits because sometimes you flip over or you're in an awkward position and you just can't get out. So over here, this is kind of like some passenger seating. I did throw in a little bit of a makeshift TV here, so perhaps they'd be getting information, some intel, or who knows what on the flight. And I added some guardrails here, so this is kind of like just the crew area. And then as you go down here, this will lead you into kind of like a control room. So as you can see, I have the engines here for each of the props, as well as the turning, which uses the thrusters with the sensors. And while I'm here, actually, I want to mention that I'm going to be doing a tutorial. I wanted to get this video that you're watching right now, I wanted to get this out on Friday night, but the crashing, the amount of effort it took to get this build finished and ready for a video took much longer than I expected. So in the end, you're going to be watching this on Saturday morning, and later Saturday, I'm going to be having my first tutorial on flight mechanics in this game. I'm really excited. People have been asking about tutorials for a long time now. So with that said, this is something that's going to be a part of that tutorial, of course. So over here, though, this is some landing gear, more thrusters. And so this emergency exit is if you flip over on your back and you pop through the driver's seat and you come out here. Well, you can hop into that seat there and go onto the stomach of the airplane, where you can actually easily just put it on a lift and save yourself. Alright, let's get out of that little area and go into this main area here. So my main focus on this build was making a large cargo area. People have been saying big cargo plane, something that can carry cars and all sorts of cool stuff. So this is actually quite a sizable cargo area, as you can see, and it has a lot of room for multiple vehicles, really. Most of my vehicles are pretty big, but if you have your creations, they would fit perfectly in here. You could probably put 2 or 3, and I don't even think it would lag too badly. But I actually put over here, so these 2 caution block lines, those are actually guards that you can put behind your vehicles. So if you come up to this switch right here, and you flick it, you'll see that those arms come out. So those arms will hold some vehicles in place in the main cargo area, so they're not sliding up against the tail there. But I'm going to quickly just open those back up again, and we will make our way to the back here. So this button here, of course, opens up the tail. So here, this is how you would load your vehicles into the back, and you would drive them right up here in between the landing gear, and activate those holding arms there, and you got your vehicle secured, and you can fly around and, you know, airdrop it, who knows what. And I'm gonna try something crazy here in the video once I get up in the air. I have some ideas, I think. So I am actually gonna head up to the cockpit now so we can see the view from the seat. Just like that. Alright, so as you can see, this build is massive. I can easily pivot with A and D. This build does not use W or S. It actually uses a constant thrust with the A switch. And the reason for that is because this build is so big, it doesn't fly so fast that you can't control it the entire time. So I put it to the 1 key, I believe. So yeah, you press the 1 key and you can see I get my forward thrust. It's on permanently. And that way you just don't have to worry about it. It's there. You can turn it on, you can turn it off, but it's a key that you don't have to press. I'm going to bring the keys up though. There are so many keys as per usual with a large build, and I'm going to go through them right now individually and quickly so you can have an idea of what to expect when you're flying this build. So I will press the 1 key like I did before, which gives me my forward thrust. I'll press the 2 key, and that will lift me up, as you can see. And 3 and 4 are your left and right roll, but very important to note, they also act as an extra lift. So with the 2 key, as you can see, I'm barely even rising up the ground. Let me see, I can kind of peek around here, and you can see it's barely rising up. So the 3 and 4 key are your left and right roll like that, but when you press them together simultaneously, it'll actually rise you up. So if you let go of them, you'll kind of go back into a little bit of a hovering mode, and then if you turn 2 on and off, you're pretty much hovering. So when you're flying, you're never constantly going up. Oh, you're going so high that you just kind of go towards the ceiling all the time, and you always have to worry about going back down. Now you just kind of set your height, and it pretty much puts you where you want to be. Now, I'm gonna go and press 5 and 6, so with 5, that brings your tail down, 6 brings your tail up. I mean, some pretty standard stuff, but I will be explaining all sorts of information about these thrusters and the placements in the tutorial that you'll see later today. So now there's a few more switches here, of course. The 7 button turns the props on, and the 8 key is the door for the side there from the seat. And number 9, as you can see, brings the landing gear in, and here you get the awesome view of the entire airplane, which just, in my opinion, the roundness, the shapes that I got in the Scrap Mechanic this time was something that I even impressed myself with, actually, and it's one of the happiest designs I've ever had with large planes, so something that's just something to be appreciated, I think. Now I'm going to quickly just get this landing gear back out and hit the ground for a moment. I forgot to mention, actually, that the 0 key is reverse. It's not a very fast reverse. It's faster when you're in the air, of course, but when you're on the ground, it's enough to kind of maneuver yourself out of a wall if you really need to. Alright, that's enough rambling from me, though. I am going to fly this thing around to show you guys what it looks like in the air, and then I'm going to try and load up a couple vehicles into the back, and I think I'm going to try a solo airdrop. I might lose this plane in the process, but I think it's going to be worth it, actually. So the 1 key is going to start pushing me forward, as you can see. And then I'll hit 2, and then 3 and 4 together, and now we're airborne. Oh, this airplane is massive. And it handles very well, as you can see. Wow. This is honestly one of my proudest builds, I must say. And I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything. It was a challenge for me to get this build completed, but it's just better than I ever expected it to be. Usually my favorite way to fly is in the first person, and really just the way this is flying so smoothly and effortlessly is what really makes first person flying in this game like that much more fun, I should say. This is really cool, though. I haven't really flown around in first person in this plane very much, and it is actually something else. Wow. It feels really nice. It's very, very stable. I'm gonna try and first-person turn around this mountain here. Oh, I'm losing sight here. Alright, come on. Come on. Keep turning. Oh, here we go. I think I got it. So it's really not hard to fly. I only really need to press these 2 buttons at the same time, and it pretty much gets the whole thing done. Wow. Alright, you know what? So I'm going to try and land this in the first person, and let's load up some vehicles into this thing and, I don't know, maybe try and drop them out. We'll see. Let's see now. How close am I to the ground? Alright, never mind. I hit the wall. You know what? That's the perfect time to cut right to getting some vehicles into the back of this thing. Alright, as you can see, I got the back open, and before I put a vehicle in, I just wanted to stop and look at this and show you guys how cool this looks from this angle. I haven't really looked at it from this angle with the tail open like that, and it looks like it's just made to take a vehicle, so let's do this right now. Alright, so the first vehicle I'm going to try is the Jeep that I made for my Chinook. Now, if you haven't seen that video, the Chinook was my proudest moment in Scrap Mechanic. I'm going to put a link in the description if you would like to check it out. It's something that I definitely think would be worth your time. But let's hop into this Jeep right now and check it out in the back of this plane. I'm really excited for this. I haven't even done this yet. This is the first time I'm doing all of this, and I'm really happy to be able to share this experience with you guys. So, Can I easily get in here? Yes, okay. So, not lagging right now, which is very surprising. I'm really not getting any FPS drop. Alright, so really, okay, let's zoom in a bit more here. So, I can move up into about here. This is probably going to roll around a little bit, but let's pop it right there, and I'm going to run up to the front where that arm button is here, or switch I should say. Press that. So here's the arms coming out. Now, of course, that's definitely not going to fit in between this gap here, so that should be good as far as going from the tail. I'm going to shut this back door here, and hopefully we'll be able to do something pretty cool. Run over to the cockpit, though, and get inside and see what we can do. Alright, get these blades spinning here. I'm kind of nervous. This is nerve-wracking, I'm not going to lie. I don't want to hit that tree for sure. That's something that would be a terrible thing. So let's... you know what? I'm going to try and aim it right in between this empty space right here. And maybe before I start going forward, I'll just lift myself into the air so that way I don't end up kind of ruin it. But here we go. Oh boy. This is actually extremely exciting for me. Alright, so going forward now. With the Jeep in the back. Can I see the Jeep? No, I can't see the Jeep. Okay, I can't see the Jeep. But we're flying. I don't know what the Jeep is doing. But I know I'm going to try and really focus on not crashing this thing with that Jeep. So this is flying pretty well right now with a little Jeep on the back. Wow. This is awesome. I am having a lot of fun with this build, actually. Alright, let's level off here. Let's go up into the air a little bit more. Oh, wow. Nice view from up here. Now, turn it in just a little bit more so we don't end up running into that wall. And I'm going to go towards the center of the map, and I'm going to drop myself out of there with that Jeep, actually. It's going to be insane. This airplane is going to be free-flying on its own, but I'll do what it takes to get it down. Alright. Now, tail up just a little bit. Like that. Nope, tail down. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn my forward thrust off for this just because I need to have this floating in at least a semi-neutral position here. Alright, guys, this is it. There's no turning back now, I don't think. Alright, here we go. I'm doing it. I don't even care. There's the Jeep. Oh, come on. We gotta open this door. Can I get this? Can I do it? Oh, I forgot to open the locking arms. Okay, wait, no, locking arms. Okay, locking arms open. Get into the Jeep here. Oh boy, this is actually happening right now. I don't even know. Alright. I'm ready to drop out of this airplane. I don't know if you guys are, but it's happening. Alright, let's see what this looks like. In 3, 2, 1, let's go! Wow. Oh, oh man. That's so cool. Oh, jeez. Wow, what a hit. Landed on all 4 tires, though. Can you believe it? Wow. That was neat. Let's have a look here. What's it doing right now? It's just hovering there. I mean, I can see it slowly drifting, but... Alright, so there it is, guys. It's the AC-130 in Scrap Mechanic. I am so happy to finally have it done for you guys, and I am really happy with the overall design and the look of it. Like I was saying at the beginning of the video, be sure to hit that like button, guys. It'll make me feel justified in the amount of hours I have spent on this creation, that's for sure. And I know that you guys will have an amazing time on the Steam Workshop playing around with this thing as well. Now, I've got a whole bunch of flying to do, guys. This thing is so much fun. So, like I said, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that like button, and subscribe for Endless Scrap Mechanic if you haven't already. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next one.